A clock ticks. The seconds pass. Each tick, a countdown to a world turned dark. Imagine, if you will, a catastrophe looming just 72 hours ahead. Are you ready? We're not talking about a minor inconvenience here, a temporary power outage or a weekend without internet. We're talking about a life-altering event, a natural disaster of epic proportions, an economic collapse, a pandemic, or a world at war. The kind of event that could bring society as we know it to a grinding halt. In the face of such a crisis, 72 hours might seem like an eternity. But when you're racing against the clock to prepare yourself and your loved ones for the worst, every second counts. The decisions you make in the first 24 hours could be the difference between survival and disaster. This isn't the time for panic or indecision, it's the time for cool heads, clear thinking, and decisive action. Your first task? Assess the threat. What kind of disaster are you facing? How widespread is it likely to be? How long might it last? The answers to these questions will guide your next steps. Depending on the nature of the disaster, your best option might be to stay put, fortifying your home against the chaos that could ensue. Alternatively, you might decide that fleeing is your best chance of survival. Either way, the decision must be made swiftly and decisively. Once you've made your choice, it's time to gather your resources. Food, water, medical supplies, these are the basics of survival. But you'll also need to think about communication equipment, tools, and other essentials. Then comes the hard part, waiting. As the hours tick down, you'll need to stay alert, keep your nerves steady, and prepare yourself mentally and physically for the challenges ahead. The first 24 hours are crucial. In these initial moments, you must assess the threat and make critical decisions that could mean life or death. The clock is ticking. Are you ready? You're now in the first 24 hours. The clock is ticking. It's time to evaluate the danger and make the life or death decision. Stay or flee. The first thing to do, evaluate the situation. What kind of threat are we dealing with? Is it a natural disaster like a hurricane or earthquake, or is it a man-made crisis like an economic collapse? The nature of the disaster will determine your immediate actions. For instance, if it's a flood or a wildfire, your immediate environment could quickly turn into a death trap. But if it's an economic collapse, your home might be the safest place to be. So understanding the nature and severity of the threat is paramount. Next, you must make the critical decision to stay or to flee. This is no easy choice. It requires a careful assessment of your current location, the potential safe zones, and the risks involved in moving or staying put. If you decide to stay, you'll need to fortify your home and stockpile supplies. But if you choose to flee, you'll need a safe destination and a reliable means to get there. Remember, the roads could be jam-packed with others trying to escape, potentially leading to a deadly traffic situation. You'll also need to consider who you're with. Do you have family members who are elderly or have special needs? What about pets? All these factors will play a crucial role in your decision-making process. But whatever you decide, remember this: time is of the essence. You have to make this decision quickly, because as each hour passes, your options may dwindle. And here's a pro tip: always have a backup plan. If plan A doesn't work, you need to have a plan B ready to go. It's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Remember, this decision is not just about survival, it's about making the best possible choice for your safety and well-being. In the next scene, we'll discuss what to do once you've made the decision to stay or flee. Stay tuned. Now, you're in the second 24 hours. The urgency is mounting. It's time to stockpile essentials and prepare for the possibility of no access to medicine. In the scramble for supplies, you must prioritize. Think of what's crucial for survival. You're going to need food, non-perishable, high-energy items that can be stored and consumed without cooking. Canned goods, protein bars, dried fruits, these will provide sustenance when fresh food is scarce. Don't forget water. A human can survive only 3 days without it. Aim to store at least 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. Next, medical supplies. A basic first aid kit is non-negotiable. Bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and other essentials should all be included. Don't overlook personal hygiene products. Soap, toothpaste, sanitary items. These help prevent disease and infection and can boost morale in tough times. But here's a crucial point, often overlooked: personal and family medications. If anyone in your family relies on prescription medication, securing an adequate supply is paramount. Pharmacies may soon be looted or abandoned. Chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, or asthma can become deadly without proper medication. If possible, talk to your doctor about getting an emergency supply of your prescription medications. Remember, during a crisis, cash might lose its value, but bartering could become a common practice. Items like batteries, matches, candles, and even alcohol could be more valuable than gold. Stocking up on these could give you a bargaining chip when supplies are scarce. In these final hours before the disaster strikes, these items are your lifeline. Don't underestimate their importance. Gathering these supplies will require effort and possibly some tough decisions. But remember, every item you secure now is an investment in your survival. So stay focused, stay determined, and keep your eye on the ultimate goal: survival in the face of adversity. You're now in the final 24 hours. The storm is nearly upon you. It's time to secure your fortress, ensure communication lines, and have essential gear at the ready. During these final hours, your home becomes your fortress, your barricade against the chaos that's about to ensue. It's time to board up windows, secure doors against breaches, and prepare for the possibility of being cut off from the world. You're not just fortifying your home, you're creating a sanctuary, a safe haven in the storm. Use whatever you have at your disposal to reinforce your home: plywood, metal sheets, sandbags, whatever you've got. Remember, your goal here isn't to make it impenetrable. It's to make it difficult enough to breach that any potential intruder will move on to an easier target. Your home needs to say, "This isn't worth your time." Next, you need to solidify your communication lines. When networks crash, staying connected could save your life. Invest in a hand crank or solar-powered radio. It's an old-school technology, but it's reliable. You'll be able to receive news broadcasts and emergency alerts even when the power's out and your phone's dead. And don't forget about person-to-person communication. Walkie-talkies can be a great asset, especially if you're in a group. You'll want to establish a communication plan with your loved ones. Designate check-in times, set up code words for different scenarios, and make sure everyone knows the plan. Now let's talk about your gear. It's time to pack your bug-out bag. This bag is your lifeline. It should include documents, tools, survival gear, and any other essentials you'll need if you have to leave in a hurry. Your bug-out bag should be lightweight, easy to carry, and packed in a way that allows for quick access to the most important items. Your documents should include identification, proof of residency, and any important medical information. Your tools should be versatile and lightweight. A multi-tool, a compact first aid kit, a flashlight, and a fire starter are all essentials. Your survival gear should include a compact sleeping bag, a lightweight tent, and a water filter. Remember, the goal of your bug-out bag isn't to pack for a long-term survival scenario, it's to get you through the first 72 hours, it's to get you to safety. Now take a moment, breathe, look at your fortress, your communication plan, your bug-out bag. You've done everything you can to prepare. You're ready. You've fortified, braced, and prepared for what comes next. This is it, the final hours. Your preparations now could be the difference between life and death. The disaster is imminent, but survival is not just about physical preparation, it's also about mental and physical readiness. In the face of a looming crisis, it's easy to become paralyzed by fear. But let me tell you something crucial. Panic can kill faster than the disaster itself. It's not just a cliché. Your mind is indeed your most powerful weapon. It's essential to steel yourself mentally for the ordeal ahead. You need to remain calm and think clearly even in the midst of chaos. This mental fortitude will allow you to make sound decisions, adapt to changing circumstances, and keep your spirit unbroken. Picture yourself in the aftermath of the disaster. Visualize the challenges you might face and the actions you will take. Regularly practice this mental exercise. It's a form of mental conditioning that can help you reduce fear and anxiety when the disaster strikes. Now let's talk about physical vigilance. It's not just about being physically fit or having the strength to carry a heavy bug-out bag. Physical vigilance is about being aware of your surroundings, being ready to respond to sudden changes, and having the endurance to withstand harsh conditions. Don't underestimate the importance of rest. You might feel the urge to keep going, to push beyond your limits in the name of preparation, but understand this: exhaustion can cloud your judgment and slow your reactions. Rest when you can. You will need every ounce of energy for what's to come. Keep yourself hydrated and nourished. Even in the face of crisis, never neglect your body's basic needs. Remember, a well-rested, well-fed body is more capable of enduring stress and performing strenuous tasks. And finally, always be ready to adapt. No matter how well you've prepared, reality can throw curveballs at you. Your ability to adjust your plans, to improvise, and to think on your feet can make all the difference. This is your final stand. Steel your mind, stay vigilant, and prepare to face whatever comes with courage and determination. The last 72 hours have been a whirlwind of preparation, but remember, your preparedness can set the stage for survival or spell doom. We've delved into immediate threat assessment, making critical decisions on whether to stay or flee and scrambling for supplies. We've also discussed fortifying your home, ensuring last-minute communications, and packing a bug-out bag. And never forget the importance of mental and physical readiness. These are the critical steps you must take in the face of impending chaos. It's crucial to understand that these actions are not merely suggestions, these are survival necessities. In the midst of a catastrophe, our regular comforts and conveniences will be swept away, leaving only our instincts and preparations to keep us alive. Thank you for watching Before the Collapse, What to Do Before the World Turns Dark. Time is running out. Prepare now to survive later.